Estevao continues to steal the spotlight. We're learning some interesting news around Cole Palmer's current injury, and you guys need to get on these two wonder kids that are being scouted and looked at by Chelsea. A lot to break down, a lot to discuss. I hope you guys enjoy, but very quickly, my friends, get your pre-orders in if you guys are still holding out for the third kit. At the moment, this kit is selling out like fire, left, right, and center. It's very hard to secure these items. Hopefully it happens soon. Hopefully you guys get some luck in that capacity. But in the meantime, of course, my friends, there's also the Varsity collection that has released. And if you guys just want kind of like classy, everyday type of casual wear, there's some interesting items on show. In particular, I'm kind of liking this Varsity shirt at the moment. Looks quite nice. And if you guys were planning on making any purchases for yourself, I'm your guy. Use my links in the card above, description below. And if you do so, use my discount code NINI10 to get 10% off your final order, boys. So that's that out of the way. And let's discuss today's latest reports. And we're learning some news surrounding Cole Palmer. Now, this comes courtesy of Sky Sports. And at the moment, Palmer is believed to be returning back in November due to ongoing groin problems. Now, you know what? This is kind of uncharted times. We've never really had to deal without Cole Palmer for an extended amount of time, ever. So let's see how the club kind of cope with things. I guess it's a positive at least that, you know, your Joao Pedros, your Caicedos, and many others at least have a bit of rest now to get back for Prem duties next week. Hopefully these guys take opportunities. Hopefully players like Norte, I want to see him doing a lot more in terms of the chances he is getting. Express yourself more, kid. But you know what? Going back to Cole Palmer, there have been these, I guess, interesting rumors that were surfacing before that the club kind of preempted Cole Palmer's current injury situation. It was believed, and I mean, it's been known for a while behind the scenes that he's had ongoing groin problems. That also explains why the club did make efforts to sign that attacking mid-profile and like your Kudus, your Xavi Simons, your Femins from Barcelona, because they knew that we'd have to play some games without relying upon Cole Palmer. And when you don't have your best player available, any team's going to feel that loss, right? It's just standards. It's just normal. But I guess the small positive from this news is that Cole Palmer won't need surgery. Hopefully it doesn't kind of just extend. Hopefully it doesn't go to any new levels. Yeah. The annoying thing is we have to wait until November at least. And I don't know, a part of me also thinks that could we not have maybe just taken that risk early and not rush him back, force him? Because guys have been saying for a minute that he's been using injections to even get minutes on the field. And what was the real utility when in the long run, that's when you kind of miss out and pay the price, right? So again, it's good that Palmer doesn't have any, you know, surgery at the moment. At the moment, he's been spotted in Dubai. Many Chelsea players have been spotted in Dubai. Caicedo, I was with his family. Palmer's been there. Some rumors was also saying, is he getting like a low-key surgery? Is he seeing a specialist? Who knows? He's getting some time off. He's getting some vitamin D. They're the things he needs right now. And I guess we have to wait for this guy until November, but hopefully November things make sense. You know, Liam Delap, I want to see this guy back in the training sessions. We've kind of missed him. We definitely have missed him for sure. Cole Palmer returning. As I'm stressing, man, there's moments now. Estevao, can you push on even more like you're doing already? But Norte, all these guys, man. So that's the latest on Cole Palmer. Share your thoughts and opinions on that, my friends. But right now, let's move on to discussing some of the other interesting stories coming out right now. And let's talk about Estevao. Estevao, man, this kid's, what a talent we've secured. If you guys have been watching me for a moment, I was one of the early guys saying, listen, with Estevao coming here, don't be fooling yourself into thinking guys like Pedro Neto and Co, they're going to be taking a spot from the first team. Yeah, this guy has Ballon d'Or winning potential. He is that good. And he's proving that now. This afternoon, Brazil utterly destroyed South Korea. And our boy in Estevao, the chosen one, the young prodigy himself, bagged a brace in this game. Now, I'm going to use some of the clips from Nino 12X. I don't know how this guy gets these comps out this fast. It is mad, but I'm going to kind of do it in a way like this so the copyright system doesn't get a bit too mad with what I'm doing. But in the meantime, you guys, man, Estevao is just reaching new heights and new heights. You know, he played in a front four for Brazil today. On the right-hand side, Rodrigo, Vinicius, and Cunha up front. And yeah, the way this kid moves on the ball, his IQ, how to position himself, how to time his runs, how to curve them, how he just kind of just withdraws from spaces as well, going away from the danger, because he just makes things happen. He doesn't have to be involved touching the ball 24/7 to change the game right. Doing this at 18 years old is absolutely nuts. But you're seeing the goals he scored today against South Korea. I love this goal in particular. It's similar to his goals versus Liverpool, where he was just peeling off the fullback before timing his running behind. Excellent pass from Bruno to set our boy up in Estevao. Great play, great goal. He did get his brace. It did come courtesy of a little mistake from South Korea. But we have learned about Estevao's acclimatization in London and at Chelsea. And he had a lot of praise for Enzo Maresca. I want to preface this point by just reminding you guys, there's a lot of impatience around this kid right now. I get it. We know he's that good already to make things happen, but you got to remember, he's only 18. The body is still growing, developing. He's getting used to a new environment, new training sessions, new physicality. He needs recovery time for his muscles. You guys, if you hit the gym, you already know what to expect. You can't be forcing things and rushing things just like this right now. You'll ruin the talent. And Maresca knows this because Maresca he knows youth, yeah, back of his hand. He was a PL2 manager. He brought up your Lavias, your Palmers, all these guys. Yeah, he's not going to force nothing. And if there's one thing I trust Enzo Maresca when it comes to knowing when to use a player, knowing how to keep that longevity, how to not stress their bodies and all these things. I wanted to mention that point here because Estevao talks about life under Enzo Maresca and he reveals interesting things in regards to his adaptation process. As he says, in Chelsea, it's been very frequent in terms of the positions he's playing in. We've seen him play on the left, in the middle, and down the right-hand sides. As he says, Maresca tries to get the best out of me. Even in training, he's been putting me in different attacking roles so I can have more repertoire, more game awareness. In the last game against Liverpool, I came on as a winger. In the CL game, I played through the middle. As he says, whatever position I'm available, I'll play inside or out wide. And this is what I mean by this is the perfect thing he needs for his current development. He doesn't have to be forced. The process for Estevao doesn't have to be rushed. It doesn't have to be forced right now, yeah? He can only become more complete. He can only play in different positions to just master each role and each area of the field he's in, so he's completely comfortable, yeah? That is what's going to take this guy to Ballon d'Or level potential. He ain't going to reach that in his first season. That's not being naive. By the time he's 21, 22 years old, you could be seeing some outrageous things from this kid in this league right now. And Maresca understands the level of talent he has right now. So I fully back him. I fully trust how he's being used. I feel impatient at times, but I'm learning to just keep my mouth closed a bit now because, listen, man, I've been forced to be patient with this project now for the last, 4 seasons. Like, yeah, but you got me. Clear Lake, you got me. I'm ready to shut up. I'm ready to see what happens right now. And for me, yeah, it's a lot easier to kind of have this perspective when you got a talent like Estevao, someone this sensational, someone this exciting, yeah, at this football club. Because this is not a common thing for us, Chelsea fans. Let's keep it brutally real. So that's the latest on Estevao. Wow, I feel that's going to be like a trademark, similar to Cole Palmer trademarking Cole Palmer. But right now, I want to move on to discussing another interesting story that has been emerging. And we turn our attentions to this Bundesliga exciting talent. And my friends, apologies for that, but my friends, are we talking about FC Cologne's left winger in Said El Mala? Now, I feel like we could be hearing about this kid quite a lot in the future. And I'm going to preface this point. I don't know why I love saying preface today, but I want to preface this point by reminding you, listen, sometimes when I tell these stories, don't always think, oh, Nini, transfers, wonder kids. I talk about the interesting stuff, so it's like your football encyclopedia of knowledge can just grow, because we all love this game. And I keep using this point, but years ago, when I spoke about your Haalands and Caicedos and co, it was the same type of energy. You can look at the comments in those types of videos. So listen, this kid inside El Mala is doing promising things in the Bundesliga. You just saw this goal he scored. He skipped past 3 guys to bag. At the moment, it's been reported by Goal.com that us, Dortmund, Bayern, and many other clubs are scouting and following this player. And you can kind of see why. Now, last season, he was playing for the Liga 3 team in Germany, like the subsidiary of Cologne. So he was there and he bagged like 13 goals. It was good. Throughout the age groups, he's been seen as the best talent in Cologne. At 17 years old, this kid was training with the first team. And I think from just seeing the clips, you guys, you can see he's a little bit different in the sense that look at how big this guy is. He is a unit. Yeah, he's a unit. But look at how he moves the ball. Look at how the ball's glued to his feet. The little shifts of direction, the contact he can absorb, the acceleration, the pace. Yeah, that imaginative type of play where he's not just like a, lab-grown type of winger that only follows the instructions down to a T. He's got that street baller in him, but he can make things happen. Look at, bro, you're seeing the skills here, yeah? Inside of the boot, outside of the boot, on a fly. And he's leading the counter-attacks a lot. He's got the power in short distances and long distances. He looks like an interesting player. If you're asking my opinion, am I going to see him here? Bro, I think this guy is Bayern coded. There's already reports that don't be surprised to see this kid as part of the German national team, because the national team has been crying out for that left winger for a minute right now. And El Mana is looking like a promise. So yeah, man, let's watch this space. We know that, I'm going to show the article from Goal.com as well, just to share a bit more insight behind him, just so you guys don't think I'm just here to cap this afternoon. But it's no surprise that for our model, we're constantly going to look towards the next youth talent. And as we've seen already as Chelsea fans, it's kind of ruthless, this model we have, dog eat dog, battle royale, Hunger Games type of model where, listen, if you flop one season, you can get moved on and someone else replaces you. Now, Brighton actually made an offer for this kid. It was around 40 million euros. They upped it to 20 million euros, but Cologne said no. They believed that they could extract up to 50 million for him eventually. 50 million euros, by the way, which is around 41 million pounds. Could be a possibility with this current trajectory, because I don't know, man. I watch a lot of youth football. I cover these stories. I've seen so many players over the years. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I feel like sometimes, when I have like a hunch on a player after seeing, I feel like my instincts kind of just like light up. And I just think, listen, it's not very often you're seeing wingers this tall, yeah, like we're over 6 foot, like this strong, who move on the ball this manner, who move on the ball this way. Normally, these are like your Arnautovic, Ibra type of guys that's playing up front. But you're seeing what this guy can do as a touchline winger, right on that byline, and his ability to come inside. So all I'm saying is, let's watch the space, yeah? Let's watch the space. Knowing us, knowing our model, there could be more reports in the future. But if anything, at least your football encyclopedia has hopefully gone up a little bit today. So that is the latest surrounding him. But we're going to turn our attention to another incredible youth talent coming out from Mexico right now. And his name is Gilberto Mora. Let me just kind of, the funny thing is, my mouse, the battery on my mouse is just failing me hard right now. That is, I didn't have any indications that this was the case, right? But anyway, we had a report that came out from Graham Bailey. I feel like Graham Bailey reports are kind of, he's getting a bit of motion right now. He's he's not like a pure capper. I think his reports are quite considered. But anyway, at the moment, we are turning our attentions to scouting Gilberto Mora. He's currently at the Under-20 World Cup. Already he has like 3 goals and 1 assist. Mexico have just beaten Chile. I think they're set to play in the semi-finals right now. And this kid is one of the biggest talents in Mexico football in years. And one of the biggest talents currently in South America. I'm going to tell you guys exactly why. I'm going to put you onto his game here. Give me a sec, you guys. But in the meantime, as Graham Bailey says, We are scouting and following the players. He says Chelsea are interested in Mora. His background is phenomenal. His first team debut was at 15 years old for Tijuana. He's already made over 50 appearances, bro. This season for them, he's got 3 goals in like 7 appearances and 1 sub appearance. He's playing as like that guy close to goal, but as like a 10, right? You know, more like an attacking mid. Sometimes as a false 9. He's doing a madness right now in Mexico. He's already made his appearance for the Mexican national team as well, becoming the youngest player in history to do so. I think the youngest goal-scoring player in international history, beating the records of like even Pele by the goal he scored for Mexico as well. And at the moment, he's drawing a lot of comparisons stylistically to Barcelona's Pedri. Now, Pedri is doing his thing in the pivot right now, but if you guys remember his come up at Barcelona when he came from Las Palmas, he was playing as more of that 10. Maybe everyone thought he might be the next Iniesta. I definitely thought, and listen, he probably could if he wants to be. But right now with Barcelona's midfield issues, he has been reimagined, and he is an incredible pre-assist type of player in that Modric role, and is one of the best players in the world right now. And Gilberto Mora, he is getting a lot of stylistic comparisons to Pedri's game. For me, when you're 16 years old and you're able to play at any professional level, especially the Mexican league, which is, for me, it's a higher competition than the Ecuadorian league, for example, you have to take notice, especially when you're at the forefront, when you're playing first team minutes, full 90s. You're not coming on as a sub for the final 10-15 minutes. He's been doing his thing. There's a lot of hope around this kid. Of course, Barcelona, Real Madrid will forever be the main clubs that attract the dreams and attention of these kids, right? Of course. But as we've learned recently, they don't always have the finances to be waiting to buy someone, and then you can't use them until like 2 years later. Now, Madrid is something similar when they signed Valverde. He came from Uruguay, from Defensor, I think. Then he got that loan move to Deportivo first before he went into their first team. Could we do something similar? Who knows? But listen, make of it what you will, because of course I'm bringing up a talent like this, and immediately you guys should be thinking about Kendry Paez. Maybe some of you Cobham guys might be thinking about Reggie Walsh or Mayuka or other talents like that. Nini, like how much of these ballers can you realistically need when you can't use them all together at the same time? Yeah, it's just a bit greedy, and I fully agree. I'd be surprised if we bag. But listen, you know, Shouts at the moment, he's the best 16-year-olds in the world. And you can see it. I mean, not only does he have incredible ball carrying abilities, like the guy keeps the ball. I've always kind of felt like, you know, like when you play that possession game and you're looking to break down blocks, you need to kind of have those types of low gravity, press resistant, you know, ball carrying, ball keeping type of players that kind of can play through a tight space, open the game up and slot someone in. We don't have enough of that. I think a lot of us have kind of maybe picked up on the patterns that maybe we're not able to constantly find solutions because we don't have the carrying threat in the middle. And listen, if you secured Simmons and Cole before, could have been interesting profiles to add to our team, right? But so I can see long term having a profile like that would make sense for a team like us. But in the meantime, of course, you know, you can't even think about this kid doing anything at Chelsea if you were to potentially sign him, because you have to wait 2 years until he can turn 18 years old. I think I was reading something that potentially if there was like family related things as well, there can be certain schemes where they can leave a bit early if the parents have worked in a new country and stuff like that. But, you know, it gets a bit grey. It gets a little bit murky, right? But I hope you guys have been watching what you've been seeing this kid doing on screen. Again, you're just boosting your football encyclopedia knowledge today. That's what I was intending to do with the video, so you guys can get put onto some of the emerging talent coming through across the globe right now. But this kid, he's kind of in the Estevao mode in the sense that he doesn't let the attention get to him. He's not letting social media grief get to him. He's praised constantly for his head being on his shoulders, for being professional, single-minded pursuit to succeed. All the hype he's getting, he's quick to kind of brush it off and bring it back to realism. As in, I'm not doing enough right now. Don't be gassing me right now for what you're seeing in my current form. I'm only a kid, yeah? I don't even have the power to really hit those 70-yard balls over the top to find one. I'm not at that stage yet, yeah? But listen, I have my head screwed on, and I know there's more to come from me. So yeah, watch this space. Let's see what happens, because a lot of times when we have signed special talents from South America, it has kind of come from these really nonchalant reports that kind of grow from nowhere. So that's that, my friends. And for the final story, very quick one, but we're getting some interesting news surrounding Kenan Yildiz. Yeah, apologies, you guys. Give me 1 sec. The mouse is just acting up hard right now. It's actually really annoying. But anyway, again, more reports on Kenan Yildiz. And you guys are seeing the title on screen, I hope. But basically, we're going to monitor the current contract situation between Yildiz and Juventus. At the moment, Yildiz's dad is acting as his agent, and they haven't found the terms yet with Juventus over this new contract. Now, this new contract wasn't going to just extend the years, because he already signed a contract extension recently. This is going to add, like, I think another year, but dramatically increase his wages. I think at the time, his team was hoping to get around, what, 4 million euros a year, which is, I think, kind of fair for one of the best young talents in Europe right now. Let's keep it real. One of the best young talents in Europe. But at the moment, of course, they are still a long way off from finding that agreement with Juventus. If you're Juventus, I'm sorry, you can't be wasting time. You pay whatever money he wants, because, I mean, if Yildiz goes, I feel like Juventus goes. It's harsh, but I'm keeping it real. I think his international stock has risen now for what he's doing for Turkey. Of course, he's showcasing his talents now in Europe. And he's looking to be like that star guy for Juventus, that difference maker, that match winner, that game winner. And for me, when talents at this age are doing it at institutional clubs like Juve, for me, it's not just about talent, it's about how do you handle the pressure? Yeah? How do you handle the expectations? How do you handle the difficult moments? Can you bounce back? Yeah? Do you have that single focus and desire to achieve your dreams? Normally, I have more faith in this type of talent coming from these types of clubs, because they're ready right now. You're not really taking a gamble if they can do it or not. Now, we do know that we did make an offer of around 70 mil euros for Yildiz in the summer window, but we weren't able to secure him, because I think the money wasn't enough. I think if Yildiz is like the guy that you see as like one of the top 3 targets in attack here, I don't think you can come in with 70 mil bids. That's like, what, 70 million, what, 58 million pounds? To make Juve really tempted, I think it's at least 90. Yeah? If you really back this level of talent, I feel like you go into negotiations knowing, yo, we might actually have to kind of overpay to really just boost the attraction, to boost that temptation. Yeah, to get in early before other clubs make a move. Money talks. If we had maybe come in with something stronger, yeah, what could have happened? Because Yildiz could easily play in the middle and out wide for us. And this is the type of profile we've been looking at. Someone that can kind of play in all those positions at the same time. And yeah, I don't know, man. It could have been quite interesting. But again, let's watch the space. Let's see if Juve find a way to satisfy Yildiz and his team over this new contract. So my friends, that's all the reports today. Get involved with the conversation. Hope you guys enjoy. I have been I have been away, but whilst I've been away, I have been working on some things as well. The channel direction, I'm content, but I'm not satisfied. You guys have been seeing that I've been doing maybe new type of videos, new edits and stuff like that. It's not an easy process. It's not as simple. A bit of time's needed. But during this time away I've also been thinking about maybe potentially just completely revamping the channel in terms of like formats and structures and the type of stuff you expect from me. So yeah, you're going to be seeing some things before the year ends. I thought you guys would stay right to the end. Let me share a little bit of what I've been up to and where I've been recently. So my friends, that's me today. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll catch you guys all very soon. Love. Cool.